Day 1017. It is 2 o'clock. Yeah, 2 o'clock. Just got off of my fourth coaching call for the day. I got one more left. I should be exhausted, and because I only slept like 4.5 hours. No, 4 hours. I should be exhausted, but I'm actually about to go to the gym. Just did 4 coaching calls back to back to back to back, and they were intense, especially the last 2. It's like God's got me fighting for people. Like, I feel like the last 2, like, I stepped on the battlefield with these coaching clients, and the first one was just like, I didn't have the answer. It was just, and I was just looking up, like, at Jesus, and I'm like, please, Lord, help me, because I don't know where to go here. And then he just gave me this amazing insight that was just like, it was so powerful. It was so powerful. And my client, it rocked him, just rocked him. It was just like, wow, it was just such a powerful insight, and it set him so free from condemnation. It was amazing. It was beautiful. And then got on my next call, and that was very interesting, because we got on the call and he's talking and, you know, telling like where he's at, what he's doing, and I just immediately feel a deep level of conviction. Like, oh, just such conviction. I'm looking up at that picture of Jesus, and I'm like, God, I'm not going to talk to him about this. Like, there's no way. Like, I'm not going to bring this up. And then everything that fell into place, it was just like God made it so undeniable that, Chris, you better say something to him right now. Like, the confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. And I was just like, wow. And it was a really tough conversation. It was like he received it really, really well. I mean, he was great. I don't know what he was actually feeling, but he was acting like he was receiving it. But I just had to say some really aggressive, bold, hard truth. And yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But it was just like, oof, the conviction. Like, I felt conviction for myself, but to feel conviction, like, for someone else, I guess is what I was feeling. Maybe it was conviction for me, like, Chris, you better say something. But it was just like, it was like the conviction in my heart that, hey, what you're doing, you got to check. Like, you got to really check your heart. You got to check your actions, and you got to make sure, is this in alignment with the Lord? Like, whew. And I could only say it because I've been in almost an identical situation, and it led to a lot of destruction. So I could actually speak from significant experience. But yeah, it wasn't easy, and so we'll see what happens. It was bold, it was aggressive, but I remember when I prayed at church a few weeks ago, I prayed an aggressive, bold prayer over someone, and God said, Chris, I give you the truth because I know you're bold enough to speak it. And there's another lady where I was speaking on a group Zoom, and she said, Chris, when you were speaking, God gave me a message, and he said, when Chris came to Christ, heaven gave him a sword of truth to pierce the darkness. And God said, I'm not here to lead a revolution, but a revelation, which is communicating divine truth to people. And that's just something that I just keep doing again and again and again, as God shows me, he's giving me the discernment to see the truth. And then I have to be courageous and bold enough to speak it. And like, a lot of these truths that I say, like, man, they could really, really offend people aggressively. And I say it anyway. And it always leads to a massive breakthrough. It might take a little while. Sometimes it takes a couple weeks. Most of the time it's in the moment, but it always leads to a breakthrough. That's how I know it's from God and people are set free. And so this was something I've had conviction about for a while. I've had a conversation about it, but not this kind of conversation. And it was just like, if I really love someone, I got to fight for them. And fighting for people doesn't always look the way we think it does. Like, sometimes the greatest act of love is just saying the thing that hurts, even though it's the truth, because it's the truth that sets us free. But I say it with so much love. Like, when I say this stuff to my clients, they know where my heart is when I say it. And that's why they usually don't get upset or cuss me out. That's happened before, though. And it's only happened twice. But it was, it's like I got to fight for people. And if I really love them and God puts conviction in my heart that what they're doing is hurting them and hurting their spirit, their soul, then if I didn't say anything, like, I'm going to be held accountable to that. And so, it was, I have no idea what's going to happen next, but I'm sure I'll find out soon. But if you're not going to fight for people, what are you going to fight for? Money, success, status, influence. So, I'm proud of myself for being bold. I'm also a little bit nervous because I don't know how it's going to go. But I don't need to be nervous. What? Nervous? Trust the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him and he'll make your path straight. God's got this. He uses all things for the good of his purposes of those who love him. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's nothing to be nervous about. God's got this. Man, this is just an intense role that God has given me. Like, it's so intense. It's like, man, speaking the truth is not easy. Especially when we live in a world that is run by the father of lies. It's not easy, but you know what? It's so rewarding to see the transformation that people experience. And so, yeah. Trust the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your trust the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him and he'll make your path straight. All right. God's got it. Now I'm going to go to the gym.